What is going on, carnal? Today I'm going to show you exactly how to eat in a Latino household. I know you're still struggling to stick to a diet and even how to eat. You don't know where to start or what food you should be eating, what you should be consuming to just have the best physique 1% in a Latino household when everyone else says Latinos should not be in shape. I'm going to show you exactly how I got in shape, what mistakes you're doing, what diets you need to implement, and basically how to calculate your calories if you want to track and go down that route. So if that sounds like interesting, let's get right to it, man. First off, let's go to exactly why your diet is not working. So in order to fix something, you need to kill the version of you that's already existing. So we need to get rid of this version of you that is not in shape, that is not his 2.0 version, that is not the one with the six pack, the one with no lonjas, the one with all the muscle. We need to get rid of that version. In order for you to become that version, we need to get rid of this version of you right now. So what are some things that are actually holding you back? So first one that I see a lot of Latinos are making that mistake is you're way too restricted with what you're eating. If your food, literally, next time you go have supper or breakfast or lunch, look at your fucking plate. If it looks like it's post-apocalyptic World War II, it just came out of some Russian prison, so God just poured the porridge right into your plate, why are you eating that? If it looks like shit and it tastes like shit, stop eating it. You're not going to stick to it. Because the first time I show you Takis, you're going to be like, what the fuck? There's flavor and color in the world? Stop eating such boring and bland food. That's the reason why you can't stick to the diet. It's too restrictive. I don't eat like that. My dog doesn't even eat like that. So stop eating like that. If your food looks bland, fix it. I'll show you some better recipes. It should be colorful. It should look like Instagram. You go on Pinterest, you look inspo of fancy white girl meals or Latino meals. They should look like that. They should look like you actually want to eat the meal, okay? Mistake number one. Next one is eating a diet that doesn't match your culture. So a lot of you trying to eat boring chicken, plant, rice because that's what you saw a recipe online. Stop doing that. If you're a Latino and you like eating enchiladas, pozole, keep eating like that. I'll show you the exact rules to follow that. You're not changing who you are. If you're changing your core beliefs and values inside as a person, you're not going to stick to the routine. If I told you fully assimilate you can't be Latino anymore, you're not going to stick to that just because that's not who you are, that's not in your blood, especially if you live at home and your mom's making you enchiladas or tacos, something like that. You're not going to fucking stick to the diet if you're like eating all that and that's what you're surrounded with. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Next one is no calorie awareness. A lot of you guys have no idea what even is a calorie. I'll show you exactly how to break that down, but you're just kind of eating through life. You're having like 10 tacos for breakfast and then a big steak for lunch, and you're wondering why you can't lose weight, or you skipped a breakfast today, but for supper you had a big McDonald's meal and you're wondering why you can't lose weight. I'm going to show you exactly what calories are, how to track your calories, not even to track, just be more aware of what your calories are. And that kind of leads me to my next one, skipping meals all day and then binging at night. So just because you skipped breakfast in the morning, you skipped lunch because you went to work and you're the person that doesn't like to eat breakfast in the morning, you're not hungry, but you're coming home and you're smashing a buffet of 10 tacos, enchiladas, tacos, un porquito de chicharron here and there, like you're blowing all your calories. So let's go over calories for a little bit. So calories are like a budget. So let's say mom and dad gave you $100 in a whole day to spend. Okay, so now you have $100 set dollars. So breakfast, let's say you had eggs. So breakfast, that costs you $20. Now supper is also, lunch is also $30. So now between breakfast and lunch, you spent $50. So from your $100 budget minus 50, now you only have $50 left for supper. But you want a nice fancy burger supper, and that costs 70 calories, okay, $70. So now you spend the 50 that you had, but you wanted something for $70. Now you owe $20. So anytime you're in that negative of calories or amount of budget, you're gonna gain weight. If you stay within your budget, so if you only spend the 100, you switch to a supper that's only $50, then you're gonna maintain your weight. But if you spend less than your entire budget and you have money left over, calories left over than what you're actually eating, that's when you lose weight. So let's say you switch to a supper that's 30 calories now, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that while still eating the foods you love. So now from the 50 to 30, now you have money left over. Now you have the 20 left over, and that's what it's going to allow you to lose the weight. So if you spend less than your entire budget, you're going to lose the weight. If you spend the exact amount of your budget, you're going to stay the same. And if you spend more than the budget you had, you're in the negatives, you're in debt, that's when people gain weight. Okay, so the concept is very simple, and it comes down to straight up laws of thermodynamics. I don't want to hear excuses that your hormones, this imbalance, this and that. That doesn't matter. It comes down to a straight law. So if you're gaining weight, you're eating too much. If you're losing weight, you're eating less. That's it. No excuses, no nothing. Next one is the all or nothing mindset. So a lot of you guys are reaching for perfection. Perfection doesn't exist. I'm not perfect myself. I will fully admit this right here, right now on camera, that I have off days. I have days where I eat something I'm not supposed to. We're all human at the end of the day. If you're a fucking robot, like, click off. You should be working for Jeff Bezos or something, okay? We are all human. You're gonna fuck up. That's part of life. The biggest lesson you could do is learn from it. What caused you to do that? What things can you improve to not end up in that situation again? So if you go on a binge or something wrong happens, you eat the wrong meal, okay, that's fine. Now we reset, we go back into the diet. A lot of you guys are just falling off one meal and then, oh, okay, next day, same thing. And now you're not even in a diet anymore. You don't give a fuck. You just want to be fat for the rest of your life. Stop falling off the routine, okay? So one day goes bad, that's fine. We're all human. Understand that at the end of the day, you're a human. You are meant to fuck up. That is exactly how life works. That's why they built erasers. You're meant to fuck up. That's just how life works. So something bad happens, just start right over the next day. That is going to be fine. It's just life, okay? Next up is no meal structures. You're kind of just eating randomly. So you're kind of just getting blown from wind to wind and hoping a meal sticks and hoping you lose weight. You have no real structure. If you fail to plan, you are planning to fail because you have no real structure. So kind of know the day before. The best routine, I've said this before, the best morning routine is the routine you built the night before. So if you struggle with planning out meals, plan it the night before. So make sure, you say you're going to eat like overnight oats, make sure the oats are actually in the fridge. Or if you're going to have chicken for supper, make sure you actually have chicken. How are you going to have chicken for supper if you have no fucking chicken? So that's when people fall off. So have somewhat of a schedule, know kind of the same times you're going to eat, especially this is easier if you work 9 to 5. You get the same lunch break, you go home for supper at the same time. Just have a more set routine because then you know when you're supposed to be eating, when you're supposed to be doing something. If you're kind of just blowing through life and maybe today I'll eat at 3 or something, but I get hungry by 11 p.m., then like what? That doesn't make sense. So have a set routine. And a lot of you guys are not having like a meal plan or a meal prep. You don't necessarily need a meal prep every single Sunday. But my biggest advice is if you make food, make extra of it. So if you're already going to make chicken, at least make 4 or 5, put those in the fridge. Now, if you make ground beef, make at least a couple extra. So now if you want different food options, you want different meat options, now you can have spaghetti with ground beef, or if you want spaghetti with chicken the next day, and you could switch up the options. Now you have extra in the fridge. The biggest problem you guys are trying to do is cook every single day. That doesn't work, especially if you're a busy individual. And I know this because I'm a heavy duty mechanic and I run my online coaching business. I'm on calls all day and I'm making video content for you guys. I don't have time to cook every single day. So my meals are already prepped in the fridge, and I don't meal prep every Sunday scooping out how much rice I can have. I just make extra and then I eat based off that. So if I go to my fridge, I have meals that I can have ready to go here and eat in 20 minutes and not having to worry about it. Okay, and lastly, eating healthy is expensive. A lot of you guys are saying you don't have the budget to eat healthy. Realistically, if you go to McDonald's, what does a burger cost nowadays with fries? I don't even know. Let's say maybe $15 if you $15 to $17 if you want a full combo. You could easily get a whole tray of chicken for like $12. You could get a sack of potatoes for $6. That's already enough meals for at least 3 or 4 days. Even though, yes, it might be more expensive if you get more organic food, but you're eating better. You're actually fueling your body, and you're not just spending on one meal that was $16 that makes you feel like shit. I feel good when I eat good because I'm fueled, just like your car. You're putting in shitty gas. So if you want to save 40 cents a liter and you put in shitty gas into your car, but it's sputtering all the time and it shuts off, is that a car you're going to want? No, you want the reliable car that is fueled, that is ready to go every time you turn that motherfucker on. It's ready to go and it can rip down the highway. Same thing with your body. You wondering why you feel sluggish all the time. You have no energy. Your mindset's off. Fix your body, fix your routine, and your mindset will follow. Okay, now let's quickly go into your calories. So this is how you're going to find out your calories. So and how much to eat, or that budget that I talked about earlier. So TDE, what is that? That's your total energy expenditure. And there's a formula here. You could just straight up search it up. So if you go on Google, you could search this up and it'll give you the straight up formula. So I just did this for myself. I put in my results and it tells me exactly what you should eat. So the biggest thing, my advice here, if you are going to use this, is undershoot one category. So for example, I would say I'm pretty physical active. Like I run, I'm training for a half marathon, I go on bike rides, and I train at the gym. So I'm at least in the gym 5 to 6 times a week or doing something active. But I would undershoot for this one just to make sure if I want to cut, this is my minimum level of calories. This is my minimum budget that if I eat this, I will remain the same. So a lot of you guys are overshooting just because you maybe go on a walk a week and you do the gym. You're telling me that this is the calories that you're going to eat. No, just undershoot it by one category, and that's going to put you in a safe position. And then from there, so this is the actual formula that you want to follow here. Okay. So then from there, so if you want to target fat loss, you want to remove 300 to 500 calories from that budget. So let's say your budget's 2,000, you want to eat around 1,500 if you want to have faster weight loss. So that's going to be roughly a pound a week. If you want to maintain your weight, then eat exactly at that budget. Or if you want to build the muscle, then go 200 above the budget. So any more that you go, you're just going to gain excessive fat weight, and you don't want that. You just want to gain the muscle, not fat. So just kind of stick to a 200 surplus and then kind of just monitor your weight. So this is the exact formula. If you guys want to try it out, just make sure you input that as well. But for now, let's just go over protein and macros. So from your total calories that you have, so let's say we have 2,000 to work with, you want to hit at least 0.7 to 0.1 gram of protein per body weight. A lot of you guys are over focused on protein. For me personally, I'm like 155. I truly only eat around 135. You don't need a lot of protein unless you're starving. So a little tip, if you find that you're super hungry throughout the day, then have a little bit more protein. Do eat the 1 gram just because protein is the most satiating, so you will feel full throughout the day. But if you don't find yourself that hungry, then I would allocate your calories for carbs. So we'll go over carbs after. So now we want to have fats. So fats, you should have roughly around like 50 to 60 depending on your body weight. And then finally, carbs is your energy source. So you truly need carbs. Pre-workout carbs is super important. So anything before the gym, because you need energy to go smash some weights. If you're not building the stimulus for the weights and pushing yourself harder each time in the gym, your muscles aren't going to break and tear. So all this protein is useless. You don't have the energy to actually tear the muscle. You need to give your muscles a reason to grow. And that's where carbs before the gym happens. And then post carbs is super important because that's your recovery. All the energy that you used up hitting the gym and actually breaking down the muscle, you need to replenish. And that meal after and before the gym are the two super most important meals. So that's when you want to put all your carbohydrates in, and just like simple carbs before the gym and complex carbs after the gym. I could make a separate video covering that as well. And finally, so a couple mindset shifts that I'm quickly going to go over just because you guys aren't, you need to change the mindset. The biggest thing to this is the mindset change. If you could change your mindset, you're going to be able to change how you think. Because at the end of the day, the mindset that you have right now has led you to make the decisions that you have made, which have led to the outcomes that you're in right now. So if you're unhappy in your situations, you need to change the decisions you made, and you need to change your mindset. So it's just a big loop, and then you guys are constantly living in the same loop. So the starting source is the mindset, okay? The biggest mindset shift I want you to change is you do not have to eat bland food, okay? So if your meal looks like shit and it physically looks unappetizing, then if you were to give it to your dog and your dog wouldn't even want it, change it up, okay? Next thing, your abuelita's cooking is not the problem. That's not why you can't lose weight. Your wife's cooking, your mom's cooking. That's not the reason you can't lose weight. It's the proportion. So if you're looking at the proportions and you're having 2 massive dinner plates, it obviously makes sense that you're not losing weight. You're going over the budget, especially if you already had a big breakfast and lunch. So really just be proportionate of the budget, okay? Is this too much? Am I eating too much? Am I stuffed right after my meals? You should never be fully stuffed. You should be 70% full, that you can go for another plate, but you're cutting yourself off. Just remove yourself from the situation. Find yourself, you're always overeating, just get up, wash your dish, leave, brush your teeth, get ready for bed. I don't care what time it is. Next up, one bad meal will not ruin your progress. So if you have one bad meal, you go over on your calories, it's not going to be the underworld. Yes, some days that you are going to fuck up, but don't just fall off, okay? Go right back to it. You're working on something. You're running a marathon here. You fuck up, get right back up, man. It's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how many times you can get hit and keep moving forward. The best people in the best shape of their life go. I've gone through everything, and I know this from personal experience. I've gone through everything, every single diet. I've failed, I've binged, I've ate shitty, I've ate cake when I wasn't supposed to. I've gone through it all, man, okay? So go back to it. That's my biggest advice. So consistency over months beats perfection every single time, no matter what. Just focus on being consistent and trying to get better 1% every single thing. Okay, and then eating healthy and fit should not replace your life with everything you love. Okay, so a lot of you guys are just trying to be a completely different person. Start small, maybe start going on walks, start having a better dinner instead of every single meal better. Just do one small thing that's going to start adding up in months and months and months, and now you're a completely different person. Okay, so start small, start living a different lifestyle. Don't just replace everything all at once. Going cold turkey is the reason why a lot of you guys are trying this 75 hard. That shit doesn't work because it's not replacing your identity. You're not changing yourself. Okay, rice, beans, and tortillas, whole foods. Eat them proudly. I eat that shit every day. Eat tortillas every single day. Eat beans every single day. Eat rice every single day. The foods are not the problem. Continue to eat your culture. It's just the proportions and the frequency that you need to watch out for. So, and then finally, the goal is not a 6-week diet. It's a lifestyle you keep forever. So we're not going on a diet. Should no longer be a diet. Don't consider this a diet. This is a lifestyle change that you are making. You are this 2.0 version now. You are the person with this six-pack. How are they eating? How are they waking up? How are they going to the gym? You are a different person now. So you're not changing your diet. You're not just going on a 75 hard diet. You are now this other version of yourself. You're the 2.0 version. The 1.0, the current version of you right now, we killed that version. That version is dead. We killed them off. We buried them. They're long gone. Now we're the 2.0 version. We're not on a diet. We're just a healthier person. And finally, here are some recipes that you guys can follow. So this is kind of what I follow to get in the best shape of my life. You can screenshot these if you want, but I will link them in the description to a Google document so you can have them whenever you want. I'm hooking you guys up for free. I want to see my community. I want to see my Latino community. I want to see every single one of you guys that is following me along for the journey, be in the best shape of your life. I'm not charging for any of this. I want to see you guys succeed, and I want to see you guys all have a six-pack so we can show the fucking world who we are and how hard working we are. We are Latinos. We are in better shape than everyone else, and we're strong and we're capable of doing it, okay? So finally, some breakfast. I've been eating some huevo ranchero, so just follow the exact recipe here. There's some nopales once in a while, avocado toast, just be careful with the fats. Some chilaquiles for breakfast if you have the time to prep it, and some mango with tahini smoothie. Something quick like that is kind of what I've been following. So here's my lunch options as well. So pollo asado, definitely fire. Sopita, you definitely cannot skip some sopita, some pastor, and then some more nopales, and your shrimp aguachiles are freaking banger. So if you want any of these, again, they're going to be in the description, or you can just screenshot them here. And then finally, here's some of my supper options that I've had as well here. Some pozolito. I love my pozole, especially verde, man. And then here's some snack options as well that I've been snacking to help me get in the best shape of my life. And then here is the drink options there. Okay, so finally, here's the formula. So keep it fucking simple is your best friend. So your ingredients, you're making something, never fry it, never deep fry it. Get rid of that shit. Put it in the air fryer or do something. Put it in a pan with light cooking spray, okay? And always keep it high protein every meal just because it's the most satiating. And drink no sugar. So any sugar drink that has calories, we're cutting off entirely. Or cafecito, make sure you find the 0-calorie option. There's plenty. There's zero excuses for you to keep eating sugar or any calories in your drinks. Get rid of that, okay? And I promise you, if you follow this exact meal plan that I did, you're going to make a huge transformation in simple as 3 months. Just stick to it for 3 months. Promise me, you have one thing from this video. Just stick to these things for 3 months, and I promise you, your life is going to completely fucking change. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, you made it this far, please leave a like, a comment, subscribe to my video. If you're interested about joining my community or learning more about what I actually do, go down to the link below and go down and book a call with me, man. Let's just go over your goals, see what ways I can help you, and just push you, give you that extra push to get you in the best shape of your life, and just be surrounded by other Latinos that are doing the exact same or in the same positions, man. The biggest thing I want you to learn is you're not alone, man. I've all been through this. I've all been through suffering shit. I've all been through the 9 to 5. I've struggled. I've done all of it, man. And I was still able to get in shape. So if I can, I know for a fact you can. I'm just another Latino, and I know you could do it as well. So if you're interested, book a call with me, and let's get this done, man. Peace.